Picture standing in front of a cliff and realizing the building you're looking at isn't built onto the rock. It is the rock. This is the Kailasa Temple at Ellora in Maharashtra, India. And it's one of the wildest engineering flexes of the ancient world, not because it's covered in gold, but because of how it was made, carved top-down out of a single mass of stone. First, the timeline, because social media loves to get this wrong. This isn't 100 years old. It's usually dated to around the 8th century CE, associated with the Rashtrakuta king Krishna I. So you're looking at something roughly 1,200 years old. A chiseled masterpiece. Now here is what makes it unique. Most temples are like Lego. You bring stones, stack them up, adjust, rebuild if you mess up. Kailasa is the opposite. It's like sculpting a cathedral from one block of granite, except the block is a mountainside. The builders didn't add material. They removed it, a lot of it, and that creates the first brutal challenge. You can't fix a major mistake. When you're carving from the top down, if you cut too deep, you don't get to uncut it. There's no Control-Z. So the whole thing demanded insane planning, measurement, and sequencing. Imagine the first day on the job. You're not laying a foundation. You're standing on top of solid rock and saying, "We're going to subtract a temple out of this." That means you need the entire blueprint in your head before you even start. So how do you do it? They likely began by marking the outline on the rock surface, then cutting down vertically to isolate the temple's footprint. From there, the workers would carve deeper and deeper, freeing the main structure, then shaping pillars, halls, stairways, courtyards, and finally the detailed carvings. Because it's top-down, the roof and upper portions come first, and the lower details come later. Next challenge, moving the rubble. Even if you don't buy any viral mystery missing rock stories, the basic reality is still jaw-dropping. Carving out a temple like this means hauling away enormous quantities of stone with pre-modern tech. Serious write-ups focus on the sheer scale of excavation and the precision, not some magical disappearance. And then comes the real underrated problem, human logistics. This isn't just a few talented sculptors. This is a sustained operation, quarrying by subtraction, transporting debris, feeding workers, organizing teams, keeping design consistent, coordinating artisans who carve structure and others who carve detail, all without modern cranes, lasers, or power tools. Which leads to the big question everyone asks: how long did it take? Exact numbers are debated, and you'll see different estimates. But the safe truth is, it required massive labor over years, in an era where everything was muscle, hand tools, and planning. And the craziest part is, it still looks deliberate, clean, composed, like the mountain cooperated. That's why Kailasa hits people so hard. It's not just old. It's a reverse-engineered architecture. It's architecture as subtraction. And because it's monolithic, it has a kind of unity you don't get from block construction. The pillars and walls aren't assembled. They're continuous expressions of the same stone. And zoom out for a second, Kailasa isn't even alone. It's part of the Ellora caves, a whole complex of rock-cut monuments spanning Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain traditions, showing centuries of craftsmanship and coexistence in one landscape. So if you have never heard of it, here is the simple mental image to keep. A temple that wasn't built, it was revealed. 1,000+ years ago, someone looked at a cliff and saw a cathedral hiding inside it, and then had the audacity to carve it out, starting from the top with no undo button.